Yeah, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? This is going to be a very weird stream because my laptop just broke down. So now I have to learn how to use my iPhone. So to be honest with you, I don't really like using the phone because with the phone, you have to move angles, you have to go this way. So if it's not good, just forgive me for that. But oh, look at that. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's quite funny. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you can hear me, and I'm pretty sure the guys who I have can also hear me. We're gonna be on this angle right here. Uh, I had a lot of things organized, and that's why I'm pissed off that my laptop shut down because I had a whole spreadsheet of everything, of all the football matches, everything that happened. Then after all that, it decided to say, not today, Patrick, not today. But we can still see the comments anyway. Happy Easter to everybody. We're Dev Wanda. I don't know what you're doing, eyes. I don't know what you were waiting for. It's not like I promised you a stream. So anyway, big big UK is with us today. Big up to you. Says Laja. Big up. Happy Easter Monday. So I have forward here. I don't know if Prime is going to join, but I'm pretty sure maybe Prime joined, but I wasn't online yet. But we're going to talk about the matches that happened in week 30. So now it's just going to be a bit of a chat because now I don't have everything to be adding up to the screen, or maybe I will try. Anyway, so where can we start? Do we start with Chelsea? Do we start with Man United? Or do we start with Arsenal v City? Where do we
We
start,
got
guys?
we got to start at the top of the table, surely. Why are we going to worry about mid-table teams? Then come on, start at the top. Start at the top.
Ah, I understand at the top. Okay, so Liverpool, man. Did you watch the game, guys? Both of you. Big, are you
Yes.
here?
I'm here, Patrick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did you watch the Liverpool game?
No, I wasn't even around when the Liverpool game was happening. Like looking, like frankly enough, but I heard they won. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way. I heard they won, and I even thought for some reason, like them going into the game, I thought that they were gonna drop points, like not lose but draw, because obviously before that game. Deserve had a good record against Klopp, like four games against Klopp, and he haven't lost. And that was like yesterday. That was like the fifth attempt against Klopp, like Klopp against De Zerbi, and Klopp won his first match against De Zerbi in like what 5 encounters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they scored early. But I think this. I don't know if you feel the same forward. I think if that was at Brighton, that doesn't end that way. I think it ends in a different sort of result. But looking at Brighton this season, they seem like they can't defend. I don't know who sees that. It seems like there's no defensive uh, tactic anymore. There's no way to defend. Is it because they miss Caicedo and McAllister? Which is fair because everybody keeps going to Brighton, including Chelsea and others, to go and dig whatever talent they have. So, what do you think, Ford? How did you see the match? If you watched it or if you heard about it?
Luckily I was free on Sunday, so I was able to lock in for both Super Sunday games, and one game delivered being this one. The one that didn't deliver we'll get onto a bit later. But with this game, no, speaking on
Agendas.
just Brighton first quickly, I think they play, obviously everybody knows about the Zerbi's tactics. They play really good football, but of course they leave themselves open at the back, and it's not that they don't have defensive tactics. It's just they 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 like they don't protect their back foot enough with the way that they play. They want to play expansive football, but they also play like really quick football. So they don't
Hmm.
like play with a lot of control, which is why they obviously lose a lot of balls in the middle. And they're forced to, and then they force the defenders to defend in a lot of 1v1 scenarios. And obviously, if you're Liverpool and you got defenders like Van Dijk, Konate who can defend very well 1v1 situations, then it's okay. Same with even Man City with the likes of Akanji and Ake, especially, who are great 1v1 defenders. But when your
Hmm.
defenders are Lewis Dunk and Van Hecke, you're going to have a lot of problems, especially against the likes of Nunes, Diaz, and Salah. So that's what we saw. And despite obviously Brighton not playing quite good and breaking through the press quite a lot, obviously the midfield, they don't have Caicedo, who's a very good ball winner. And they don't have McAllister this season as well, who's very good at controlling the game and picking the right passes. So that was really their undoing because despite playing quite well, you can see there's a lot of transitions. Salah had his record amount of shots for Liverpool. He actually had, I think, 11 shots on top, which is the most he's ever had in a Liverpool shirt. And he only scored one, but honestly, he could have scored 6 or 7. It was crazy that he didn't take more of his chances. But overall, a very good game. Liverpool were very good. They pressured them a lot. They could have scored more than two. Brighton also could have scored more than one for sure as well. But the standout player on the pitch by far was McAllister. I thought he was absolutely world class that day. He was like creating so many chances on the plate for the likes of Salah, the likes of Diaz as well. And on another day, it could have been maybe 4-3. Honestly, it was a really good game of football. But Liverpool certainly deserved their 3 points and puts him in a really good position now. If you look at the league table,
Yeah, speaking about Liverpool, at the beginning of the season, like I'm gonna go to big here. At the beginning of the season, even right now, to be honest with you, let's be honest. I don't really look at. I keep looking at them and saying, how are you man winning these games? Maybe we're taking credit away from Klopp on what the midfield is belt because McAllister is a baller. I wanted him at City.
mm.
Unfortunately, they already had scooped him before everybody had spoken to him. We already found he was going to Liverpool. Soboslai, I hate saying his name. Everybody overlooked him when he was at RB Leipzig, but look at that. Looks like Klopp has built a team underneath people's noses because we thought this Liverpool team is weak. I thought they were weak. I thought they were not going to do it. I thought they were like, I was like, they're going to run out. Somebody's going to expose them. But nobody's exposed them. We went to Anfield and they actually fielded a very weak Liverpool side than we've played in the past, and we failed to beat them. So, Big, what do you think, man? Do you think these guys are they to be champions?
It's actually a hard one to say. I think potentially they could be when you think about it because of how they're playing and how they're refusing to lose games and the characters they're actually showing to like get over the line. But then again, like it will be interesting to see if they can actually continue to actually go on a run. Like let's say, for example, we've got 9 games left to go the Premier League. It will be interesting to see if they actually win 9 straight games from now to the end of the season and they don't lose. Because I expect them to win games, but I don't know if they'll go on like a mad crazy run or if like any of the other like title rivals will do that.
Yeah, yeah, but brother, man, it's looking like these guys are not giving up. Like it's look like this Liverpool. It looks like this Liverpool side is not giving up because I thought they were gonna be done. Like I seriously,
Mm.
hand to heart, I thought Liverpool were the weakest out of the three teams, even as bad as City have been. I was like Liverpool will be the first one to go down. But Prime, welcome Prime and Dave. We were talking about the Brighton and Liverpool game. Did you guys get a chance to watch it? Were you guys surprised by the result, or at this point in time, you're like, it is Liverpool and they are top of the table now, and they are the ones who might win this?
I've not been surprised by Liverpool all season. I'm the only person really, or one of the very few people who expected Liverpool to be in the title race. Because I said back last season that if Klopp fixes this midfield, then Liverpool will be fine. I didn't understand the way people were trying to underestimate, particularly not so much City fans. City fans like they'll always have respect for Liverpool, but particularly Arsenal fans trying to behave as if Liverpool are finished and it's going to be the City Arsenal dominance for years. No,
Oh my
you don't
days.
underestimate. I may not like Klopp or rate him highly, but I do respect that he is a world class manager, and I expect world class managers to fix things that are going wrong and get things right eventually. And he's done that with this midfield. I don't think the mid. It's not the way I would have fixed the midfield, but he's fixed it and it's working, and the team is functional. And they're even with the injuries, there's no excuses. They're still in this title race.
Yeah, wait, can I just
Mm.
interject? You were saying that like some odd like Arsenal fans were thinking that you're that like Liverpool are finished. Personally speaking, I'll just be real. Like me as an Arsenal fan, I never felt Liverpool were finished. Maybe the Arsenal fans who are like on social media thought that because those ones they like to put some mad stuff. But I personally, when I saw Liverpool, I didn't think they were finished. I thought that this season they were probably going to be in like top three. That's what I expected. But challenging, I didn't know that they were actually going to be in the title race because if you get what I mean, because I thought like they probably needed another defender, but obviously their defense has really improved and really and truly. Kwanzaa has been amazing. So yeah,
Mm.
Uh, hello guys. I I'm amongst those who didn't stop saying that our toughest title challenger, City, our toughest title challenger would be Liverpool. For some reason, there just seemed to be something about people thinking that okay, these guys are washed. But if you look at the core of that team, it's still there. It's just last season they had a bit of a mixed bag with the midfield. They failed to address certain issues that they had. But once those things were sorted this summer, and a lot of people even underestimated someone like Wataru Endo, and you have to look at how they were rebuilding this summer structurally with the likes of McAllister and Soboslai. They were never really going to need a world class number six. What they were always going to need was an effective number six, and Endo has proven to be that. And McAllister himself, if you go back to last season where he was at Brighton, at times he played the six for Brighton and he held his own there thoroughly. So I just always felt like if someone would push Liverpool to push City to challenge for the Premier League, it was going to be Liverpool. Arsenal were always going to be there and thereabouts, but I just always felt like um, Liverpool have Klopp, who knows what it is to win a Premier League. He knows how it is to challenge for a Premier League and how it is to chase down City or be chased down by City. With all the respect that is due to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, they don't. They don't know how to win a Premier League. They don't know how to hold a lead when they're being chased themselves. So it was for me, it was always going to be Liverpool and City and then Arsenal there and thereabouts. But even now, I still feel that it's Liverpool.
Yeah, but isn't it peak right now? Because look, we'll get to City and Arsenal. Forward has got
God.
words for that. Because Forward said that game promised a lot and did not deliver. So we're gonna talk about that. But let's talk about this first because we
Hey,
cannot leave.
Patrick. Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Patrick. The thing is, yeah, I get where that guy was even making the analysis, or it was gonna be like Liverpool were gonna come back and Liverpool know where it is to like win a Premier League title, but come on, like, and I'm not even being disrespectful to Liverpool. I know Liverpool have challenged and stuff, and they've won league titles, but it's not like they've won. It's not like they've dominated league. It's not like they've dominated like league titles like what City have done.
Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Because like the thing is, I'm not even like hate on Liverpool, and I
No,
actually
no, no.
like
Feel free. Feel free. Yeah,
like
you're free. Speak on it. Speak on it.
I like Liverpool's players. Like don't get twisted. Like I've got people in my family who are Liverpool fans, but the thing is, you can't try and make it seem like you've been like it's been a City, like even though you've been challenging City, come on, it's not really a rivalry when City have won like what four or five like Premier League titles and you won one during that time.
Are you really going there though? Oh, I know, but keep speaking. But I do
Like
know you want to
it's
go
it's,
there. But
it's
anyway,
because
keep.
I don't see how that's a rivalry. Like it just baffles me when Liverpool fans think that's a rivalry.
I mean, I hear you on that, right? Like, so okay, so in terms of like the trophy cabinet, right? Like the record, it stands that obviously it's very one-sided. Man City have dominated the trophies in this period of time, but again, like we can't act like Liverpool weren't showing consistency of performing like champions because when you in 3 or 4 seasons, like in a manner of like 3 or 4 seasons, they got 90 points twice, like high 90 points twice. So that's what champions do. And again, you don't get the trophy for it because it was a team that was better than you. So fair enough, you don't get the trophy, but
Yeah,
you can't also ignore that they were still performing at a top level. And that's why for me, last season, as as bad as Chelsea were, and Chelsea were horrible last season. For me, Liverpool being mid-table halfway through the season was even more shocking because they were coming off challenging for 4 trophies. They were coming off a quadruple charge, and they also got 90 plus points in the league. And they lost, and they only lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid. Like they were coming off a very top season, and obviously they fell off. But this can happen. This happens to top teams. Again, we've seen it even with
yeah, I know
Chelsea
that.
in Mourinho's third season, where obviously we won the league. He then fell off in the mid-season. That season we finished again 10th. Conte came in with again pretty much the same group of players that won a league title, and then Conte won it his first season. So we do see it with top teams that they can fall off, but it doesn't take away the fact that there's a lot of world-class players in those teams. Again, Chelsea had a lot of world-class players in that team. Liverpool right now, again, Van Dijk, Trent certainly going forward. the likes of Salah, like these are world-class players still. Alisson, world-class players still. So they didn't just lose that ability over one season. They had a poor season, but those players, it's not
I
as
know
difficult for them to bounce back, which is why it's not a surprise. And I even said it from the start of the season. I said it even in the last stream that I did with you guys, that it's not a surprise that Liverpool are back here. It's not. Maybe the way that they're playing didn't look super sustainable, but they do have the players that can win these games that are a bit ugly. They can always start games slow, but then find a way to come back and bounce back in games and score 3 or 4 goals and create lots of chances. So for me, it wasn't
Okay.
really that much of a surprise, to be honest.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Do you want would you want your team like keep having to rely on winning games, like going behind all the time? Because surely at some point, if you keep relying on that, surely you'll get found out. Because like, what if, let's say for example, in any game, unexpected, you find yourself you start pulling, you find yourself 2-0 behind. Then what now?
No, it's true. Like I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want my team to do that, right? But if you really look at it over the context of the season, like Liverpool consistently create chances. They consistently have these waves of momentum where in the 15-20 minute period they're just peppering the team's goal. And if you consistently do that over a season, then you're gonna have success. Like I mean, we've even seen it in the big games against Man City. Like even the last game at Anfield, like the first 10-15 minutes, City looked like they were gonna just pop them off the field. Like it looked comfortable for City. And Liverpool gradually grew back into the game, and all of a sudden it was competitive. And there was even periods where Liverpool looked like the better team. We saw it even with Arsenal at Anfield, where Arsenal came, they scored an early goal, and they were in control. But then Liverpool gradually grew back into that game as well. So it doesn't look sustainable. Like I agree. Like even with Patrick said it at the start of the season that Liverpool were having a lot of these shaky games, and I agree. It doesn't look sustainable, but they've proven it over and over again that they're able to just have these waves of momentum in games and just pile on teams and create a lot of chances. And more times they're going to score because they have a lot of shooters up front.
And it's working. It's working. Call it inshallah, you call it whatever.
Like we're in April now. You can't say it doesn't work anymore. They're in April. They're on course for 90 plus points. It's working. It's working.
Their style of play, and also when you have like experienced match winners that have been at this level, you're always going to be able to make your way through. I don't necessarily. Is that forward?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
Brian, come on. Who else speaks like that? That's forward.
Yeah, true.
Who else speaks that educated? That's forward.
I don't necessarily per se agree with the over top praise from Liverpool throughout the Klopp era, but I do agree that like people should have respected them coming into the season being in their title race. Like they weren't going to just fall off a cliff and just flinch. Like they've still had the players, they had the spine and had the base system in place. Like they were always going to still be in this. Now, whether this system or whatever that they're doing is going to be enough to win the title this season, I don't know. But they're in it, and so long as you're in the title race, you always have the chance to win.
Okay, so let's go over to our best friends, our neighbors, Man United. They were playing Brentford. And then what minute was that again when they scored? They scored at the late minute. I think I was watching the game. I slept, I think so. I think I slept and woke. Yeah.
88,
So
I think it was.
it was 88th minute, isn't it? So guys, where do we start with United? Does anybody have anything? And because I don't have, I'm running out of questions for this team because most of them keep saying, "Oh, our team is not good enough," but when they perform, they keep telling me that the manager can win Manager of the Month. They told me Rasmus is better than Haaland and Nunes, so that he can win Player of the Month. They keep voting their players Player of the Month, yet they're telling us that the team is not good enough. Does that make sense? Make it make sense. I'm going to start with forward. Forward, looking at the Brentford versus United game. So did you watch it? Was this Saturday or was this Sunday? I don't
This
even
game
remember.
was Saturday, the late kickoff on
Last
Saturday
game, the
night.
late game. Yeah.
And I didn't watch the game until I only tuned in like in the 80th minute, right? And again, people were telling me that United have conceded 20 shots again on goal and all of this stuff, right? And like it was just a typical Man United performance where they have no identity, no style of play. It's just hoofball, inshallah, with Bruno and the likes of Rashford and Garnacho and all these guys. It's like it's just nothing sustainable. Like
and they beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool just days ago, weeks ago.
Yeah, so like again, they have these moments in them where they can like in the chaos somehow score goals. Like it's not that they don't have match winners; they do have match winners. Even the likes of Bruno and Rashford have had horrible seasons. But this game was just another indication that Ten Hag is a fraud. He came in with all this talk about
Wait. You don't rate him?
I mean, honestly, how can you rate a manager who coaches football like this? Like, we all watch the game with our eyes, and we've seen enough examples of them conceding 20 plus shots to the likes of Aston Villa, who were in poor form, Fulham, even Sheffield United, Burnley. We've seen a lot of these guys go and play them and actually have really good games on some of their best games of the season against Man United, dominate their midfield, dominate their defense, pepper their goal. Like, it happens consistently. So I don't know how you can rate that when this manager came in saying that, oh, era's coming to an end. I'm going to try and coach a certain way of football from the Dutch Football League. And then all of a sudden into your second season, you're saying that I can't play that Ajax way. And they're like, why can't you play that way? Because for me, yes, players are the most important part of any team, right? But they shouldn't define how you play. Players may be defined if you win football matches, but you can still implement your style of play with any players that you have. And Ten Hag should have been able to do that with the players that he's got, and especially with the fact that he's actually had the money to bring in his players. It's not the Poch situation where people can say, "Oh, Poch didn't technically bring in these players." No, Ten Hag has spent around 500 million on the likes of again Anthony's, your Mason Mounts, your Hoylands, all of these guys, and a lot of them, how many have looked like they're good signings? So for me, horrible fraud of a manager. And I hope he stays in a job there because I know that he's not going to take United anywhere good anytime soon. But yeah, another horrible display. And
I
just to
second
end
that.
okay, that like the worst part about United is that for as bad as they are, they always find ways to get results because they were getting peppered by Brentford, and yet they scored a last-minute winner, the 96th
Yeah,
minute,
Mason
by
Mount,
Mason
Mason
Mount,
Mount. Money
and then they
waste, yeah.
still throw it away. Like they're horrible to watch, but yet they can still get results somehow. It's crazy.
That's Prime's guy. Mason Mount, that's Prime's guy. That was used to be Prime's guy, Mason Mount. I remember.
Wait, when did wait? I defended Mason Mount. When?
Money Mace, money
You know
Mace.
what though, Prime? Let me just say, you guys are Chelsea, man. Big up to you guys. Mason leaves, now it's Konagaga. What's the curse at Chelsea? It seems like somebody just steps up. Like Mason Mount leaves,
Chelsea,
you're like, thank God he's left. And then
Chelsea
what is it?
fans, Chelsea fans love to rate mid academy players.
Yeah, we will not go to Chelsea yet now. So what's your thought? Anybody in the panel, what's your thought on United? Because I don't even think Ten Hag will fix this. Is he going to fix this? I hear there's Southgate coming. Southgate is coming. I heard they're looking at Graham Potter. Is it good for United though? Maybe they have to accept that they are not the United they used to be. Because let's be honest, there's a point in time Arsenal accepted that we're not the Arsenal from back in the days. We have to tone it down a bit, go back to our roots. They played the kids. Maybe United also has to just accept that they're just United by name, but nobody is scared of them anymore, and they know who they are anymore. Because I remember when I used to walk in the pubs, United fans would have chest in Ireland. Now they don't have chest anymore. United fans wear hoodies. United fans wear hoodies, and they only come out when somebody scores, but they don't. They're not loud anymore. So, what are your thoughts on United? Do you think maybe bringing somebody like Graham Potter or Southgate is actually good for them? That is that level though now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know. I think maybe I don't know if the Graham Potter or Southgate would help. Maybe they would actually help United. Maybe Gareth Southgate, he would be good for United, only just to steady the ship. Only just to steady the ship and to make them get them back into top four. Because like when you look at Ten Hag at the moment, Ten Hag is he's just abysmal. He doesn't have a style of play. Like no one like he just makes some strange decisions which I don't even understand. Especially like
Can I ask you a question? What is Southgate's style of play?
oh, I feel with Southgate, it feels kind of like counter-attacking from when I've watched of England. I just feel it's counter-attacking.
No, yeah, fair, fair. What about Prime? Do you think Southgate is the guy to come in with his Westcourt to come and fix United, get the guys
Oh,
eating together? Because when he went to England, apparently he got everybody eating together. They used to not eat together. Now they eat together.
I don't like agree with people when they say Southgate is like horrible. I think he's better than what people give him credit for. Um, and he has shown that he with England that he can.
Wait. Prime, before I forget, would you take him at Chelsea then?
I'll answer that when I'm finished.
Yeah, grand. Yeah,
Um,
grand. Yeah.
he has shown with England that he can take a very toxic environment because people have to remember before Southgate got there, the England camp was a very like toxic place to be in. Particularly, they had just failed in, I think it was the World Cup. Was it in
You
Brazil? I
remember?
think failed in the Brazil World Cup, failing to get out of their group. Like England camp for English players is a very toxic place, and he's made it now be very positive, and he's given England their best like run internationally since they won the World Cup in like 1966 or wherever it was. Now, in saying that, should he get the Man United job? If we're viewing Man United as a big club, no. However, I do think he can be. I do think he can come in for maybe a year or two and help with a cultural like reset. But ideally,
Mm.
he probably shouldn't. It probably shouldn't be him just because of how people view him, and they wouldn't allow him. The fans wouldn't get behind him and allow him the time to do that
They'll be
cultural
waiting
reset
for him to fail.
they actually need. However, like in theory, I don't think it's necessarily the worst idea. Would I take him at Chelsea? Um, I guess it's kind of the same thing. Well, not necessarily actually the same thing. Would I take him at Chelsea? No, because I don't think he should be taking. He should get a job at a big club like a Chelsea or like a Man United. But
Wait,
he's
now on that note, I'm gonna ask you, Prime, and Dave. Dave, are you with us? Is Dave still with us?
I am with you now. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me ask
someone walking
you.
here. Yeah,
Prime
I'm with
has,
you now.
yeah, Prime has said something. I want to ask you, and I want you to be fair. Would you consider Man United still a big club according to football in
yes,
2024?
Honestly, it would depend on a lot of things, but as a whole, personally, I would say they're a big club because as much as I enjoy slugging United off, you 10 years or 10, 12 years does not take away a legacy that was built over 20, 25 years or so. So in that light, I would say that they're a big club, but that's about it really. Because for the best part of a decade, United have not shown that they're a big club. They've not acted like a big club. They've not recruited like a big club, be it player or manager. They've not structured themselves like a big club. Like, if you think about it, is there any top club in Europe that you can think about that has gone so long without an actual director of football?
No,
Mm.
no,
Exactly. So
I don't remember any.
exactly. Except for Manchester United, they've not had one. I think was it up to last season? So they've not put themselves in a position to act like a big club. So the entire premise of United being a big club now, I am saying that they're a big club, but it's entirely on the premise of what they've built over a period of 25 years. But over the last decade or so, United they've not acted like a big club. They don't give the results of a big club. They don't do anything that the big clubs do. Maybe Berada going there now, and I hear Dan Ashworth from Newcastle would give them some kind of a shape and structure, but otherwise, they've not acted like a big club at all. The one thing I would say, sorry, I'm going to go back on this a little. The one thing I would say with respect to Eric Ten Hag is, at least for Manchester United fans online, they have the manager that they deserve. Because these people, and I say Manchester
Man,
United fans online, I say online specifically because these are the most deluded set of people that I have ever met, I've ever encountered anywhere. And they are so deluded that they believe the lies that he feeds them every day. We watch a football match where United get battered from start to finish. The manager goes to a press conference and says, "Oh no, it was a close game. We nearly won. We are unlucky."
oh yeah, he said Man City were lucky to win.
Yeah, he
And
and
somebody said
it's
29
not
shots
new.
on
He's been
Yeah,
doing it
hey,
for 18
nah, nah,
months.
nah,
It's not
he's actually a clown because the
it's
next thing
not
you know,
new. He's been doing
when
it
he
for
wins,
18 months. And United
he's
fans
now
laugh it
having
up.
a dig at United, like Man City, and he's now having a dig at what Arsenal
Yeah,
saying that
it
Arsenal were lucky, City were lucky. Like if you
it's
won
it's
against
unbelievable.
Liverpool, enjoy your win and move on. Stop bringing up other teams that you didn't
He does it.
play.
He does that. And it's
Salty.
unbelievable because he's been doing it for 18 months, and United fans seem to accept it. I watched the Brentford game from the minute one. I do not understand how on earth Brentford do not win that game by 5, 6, 7. And I am not being funny. Brentford should have scored 6 goals in the first half. An on-form Ivan Toney gets a hat trick in the first half. it was that bad of a performance. United were horrible in that game, and they've been like that against struggling teams. This is a Brentford team, by the way, who've not won a football match in God knows how long.
Well,
And I was watching with someone.
they've
I
been
was watching
trashed.
with
They've been trashed this season, haven't they? They're not the
Horrible.
same Brentford, yeah.
The only game they
Yeah,
won recently was Tony's first game back. They haven't won since that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've been on a
forward, wait, David. Let me ask, forward. Did Tony do an interview with Chest saying we're gonna see what he's made of? He's gonna prove people wrong. I think that was Tony, wasn't it?
He's been doing a
I,
lot of
I
interviews
think
lately. A lot.
I,
He's been talking a lot.
I didn't even know because he's been trying to focus on like his future
Yeah, he said
and
Madrid. He said Madrid
helping his
will come
team.
for him. Yeah, he said Madrid. My
Mm.
Dave. He said Madrid will come
yeah.
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
He,
remember.
he
I
did
remember
make a
now.
lot of
Now that
love
you
to
bring it
Kane.
up,
So
I remember.
You know what, guys?
yeah, but
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. We're going to this segment.
I was watching the game and I was thinking to myself, and to the person who was next to me, like, surely this is not one of those games where United get battered and they walk away with a 1-0 win, and in the 88th minute or so they get a goal, and I'm like, yep, that's it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, these people are going to be able to set themselves up to take 3 points from this shambolic performance, and even that they cannot hold on to it. That's how bad they were on the day, and that result flattered United. And then for the manager to go in the post-match presser and say that
Did we lose him?
City got lucky to beat Brentford about 35 shots or so, and Brentford didn't accumulate an XG of up to 1. It's just dishonest stuff, and the fans seem to buy into it, so he just keep doing it. They have the manager that they deserve.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just to add quickly as well, that even last season when Thomas Frank and Brentford obviously beat them 4-0, Thomas Frank after this game that they obviously drew 1-1, he said that we actually played better today than when we beat them 4-0, and that just says everything. Like, they consistently get battered week in, week out against good teams, meaty teams, horrible teams that even fight relegation. And again, like I said earlier, I just hope that he can do good enough in the eyes of Ineos and the club and the board as a whole to keep his job for next season. Because like I said, he's wasted 100 million on Anthony. He's wasted plenty of money on the likes of even Onana, Amrabat, Mason, Mount. So many other players that they wasted money on, and I just hope that he stays in the job to waste more money and keep United where they are right now, which is just irrelevant. Where they are right now is irrelevant, and they're going to continue to be that if Ten Hag stays any longer.
Yeah, Ford, do you want to send the link to Abdullah because he wants to join in? Since I'm on the phone, Prime, my laptop decided to say it doesn't want to switch on. It refused. It refused. I had a whole presentation for everything, and it decided to say not today, not today. So you know what, Abdullah? Yeah, if you one of you guys can send Abdullah
Yeah, I'll send
the
it.
link. Yeah, big up, big up. So let's see. Here, Prime, I'll give this one to you. Prime, you can take over the show. This is all yours. All yours, Prime.
What, Chelsea?
He's pretend. I don't know, Chelsea. This one is all yours.
Uh, Chelsea.
Oh, by the way, do you know why I just have Chelsea? It's not like an insult. I actually forgot who you guys played. Like
Oh,
genuinely, I forgot.
we played Burnley. We drew a
Oh,
10-man.
Burnley. Oh
Uh,
yeah, 10-man Burnley. Let me write that. Let me write that.
with the chances that we had, like particularly in the first half and near the end in the second, we should have been able to see out the game. Second goal we conceded, or the first goal we conceded, was again us starting off slow in the second half, which is something that we always do. And their second goal, the equalizer, the 2-2, was from a set piece. And again, we've been terrible from set pieces all season. And like, as much as those two things, like, as much as I can put, like, I don't know, I can keep reiterating the same things I've been saying all season about Poch. But in this game in particular, you're playing 10-man Burnley. They're a championship side at best. You should be winning that game. It's like there's no way to excuse it. Like, you should be doing enough to win. But again, like, I don't know. I just don't really care. I'm just waiting for the season to end.
Wait. So wait, can I ask something, man? Like,
Yeah.
do you see progress? Like, first of all,
Wow.
I know who are people who are poaching. People are like, we have to keep poach. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say this forward. I'm pretty sure you guys heard me before, maybe on HH's channel or other channels. I used to rate Pochettino. I rated him, and there was a time I was like, oh yeah, I would like him at Abdullah. I think Forward sent you the link. Abdullah, he says, oh yeah, link. I don't know what he means by that. But anyway, I mean, like, I used to rate him at the point where I used to say, oh, when Pep is gone, we bring Pochettino. But this man went to PSG. PSG, where PSG win the trophy easily. And I think he had them playing badly, isn't it? Were they great? I don't think they were
He
great.
is. If you speak to PSG fans, he is. He is the worst manager they've had in this like Qatar money era. They're in. He's the
Is
worst.
it?
Yeah, he is the only manager. He's the only PSG manager, I think, to win the title but not get nominated for manager of the year in France.
Ah, okay. So he is a Westman.
He is
So
awful. And the thing is, I've like never really rated him as an elite manager.
mm,
Back then when he was at Spurs, I didn't rate him because like he was a nearly man. You're not able to get over the line and win the major trophies. Now he is just completely finished as a manager at the elite level. The way people will treat Jose Mourinho, but they'll still think Pochettino should stay in the job and give him time doesn't make sense to me. Jose
Yeah,
now is a superior manager to what Poch is.
I
Right.
get what you mean. But when you say like Poch is a nearly man, do you like when you think of okay what he did at like forget what he did at PSG when he was at Spurs and you feel he was a nearly man. Why do you think he never got over the line? Do you think it's that
Because
he
he wasn't
wasn't
good
that?
enough.
No,
He
do
wasn't
you,
good enough.
I know, but like you're gonna need like bigger like a bit like stronger reasons, so like bigger context.
That's
So
not true.
so what I'm trying to say is like, do you really feel that when he was at Spurs, he didn't take it, he neglected a lot of competitions that he was in. Like
Yes.
for example, he only wanted to go for like was it only Premier League. Remember that year when Chelsea last won the league and Spurs finished second. Um, Poch in his first season back in Champions League, he got knocked out in the group stages. First year back in Champions League, and then what? They were in Europa League. They decided to they decided to throw Europa League away because they said, "Oh, Europa League is a shit competition." Ra ta ta ta. But if you've
Bro,
never won a trophy, you should want to take that seriously because that helps to build a
and
winning
that's why
mentality.
I don't respect him. He's a nearly man. I'm not even saying like he should have won the Prem or won the Champions League final he was in, but at least win a Carabao Cup, at least win the FA Cup. And when he
Exactly.
got to semi-finals and final, he consistently failed. And also, he lost the title to Leicester City. People talk
Yeah,
about
like
how amazing of achievement that was for Leicester. Spurs were better than them, and they lost. He lost the title.
yeah,
I
that's what
don't,
I'm
I don't
saying.
respect.
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of Spurs fans will not like this in the comments. They will say that like they were never in the title race that year. They will say that oh Arsenal won the title race. But anyone who has any football business knows Arsenal were never in the title race that year. Like Arsenal were were already out of the title race that year by like what around March or April of that season, and
I like,
Arsenal were just trying to salvage their
but,
season.
but yeah, to answer the question, no, I don't like any people who are trying to say like he needs time, he deserves time.
like
Would
Abdullah.
would anyone take him at their club? Any rivals? Would you guys take Spur a Poch at your club?
No, I'm just saying, I think Abdullah wants him to stay, isn't Abdullah?
Yeah, want who to stay? Who to stay? Who do we want
He's
to
saying
stay?
Pochettino.
I'm back. Can you guys hear me? I beg.
Yeah,
Let, let,
we can hear
don't
you,
rope me.
bro.
Don't rope me. Let me speak my mind. I beg. Who to stay? Shout out to everybody in the chat. In people in the chat, people in the panel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you guys are. I hope you guys are doing fine. Patrick, you see, Chelsea and me is a total disagree with me and Chelsea because I've been saying this from day one. Yes, the ownership have made a lot of mistakes, which nobody can neglect. We know that already. They made a lot of mistake. It's for them to rectify that mistake. But the first mistake they've made is bringing in Mauricio Pochettino for me. That's a red flag. I don't care. You use 2 months to do interview, 2 solid months to do interview, and you could not come up with a designated manager for the team. And I keep telling people, this Chelsea team is not a running team. This is a technical team. The team we have right now is not positional team where you have to coach them. You have to put them in a position. These are positional team. Madueke, Modric, all of them, Enzo, Caicedo, all of them are Jackson. They are a positional team and positional player. So you need a manager that can play positional team where you put them into position, you coach the philosophy into them. Just one. Not tell them to run. Because yes, I know understand EPL is all about running, but you need coaching. Because these players are young. They need proper coaching because they are young. And I'm asking myself, for 7.5 months, clocking to 8 months now, Mauricio Pochettino cannot give Chelsea fan base and the players a designated style of play. And everybody said we keep backing him. No style of play to say, okay, this is the way we want to play football. How we just do is run. And when they keep asking him that same question, he keep dodging it in press conference.
Can I say something before I forget though? Do you know? I know that we keep kissing this man's ass a lot. But the only reason why I think people keep doing that, nor did it, by the way, is because this man, Angie at Spurs, this man came to my stadium with scraps. He's gone to scrap with scraps without his defense. He still has the same style of play, and we were laughing at him when you guys whipped his ass with his high line. But guess what? He has a style of play. Why I don't see anything in Pochettino, because you guys played City, and I remember Prime, people were laughing at me when they were saying I was triggered, when I was pissed off saying, why did we draw against this team? And then I told one of the guys who was on the panel, I think on the football terrace, his name was Don, I was like, you guys keep doing this, but next week you'll be slapped up by Luton. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get your team. I don't get what you guys are looking for. I don't understand exactly what you're playing. Because, first of all, with the sort of firepower you have to play Burnley, who shipped 7 or 6 against Arsenal, and who shipped 5 against City, and they've been shipping a lot of goals. Even Sheffield United, I think, dunked on Burnley. I think even Sheffield dunked, got something out of Burnley. I was watching the game, I was like, come on, Chelsea, there's 10 men. At least just go full-on attack. There's no way Burnley will do anything to you. But now, somehow, I don't understand what he was playing. I just feel like your team, Abdullah, I'll let you speak, then maybe you can go forward. I think you lack also a very creative player, but Cole Palmer can be that creative player because I have seen him in the academy players at number 10. And I have seen him rip Man City apart when we played against you guys, when he goes down the middle. But I don't get this obsession with Conor Gallagher. Look, Conor, I think if it was me, if I was a manager, I would try and make him a box-to-box. Not even a box-to-box. I'll try to make him just a DM that sits. I think maybe I'll make him a DM. That my guy, sit back and just try sweep the back. But the guy, all he does is run and he plays him as a number 10. I don't get it. I just don't get Pochettino.
Patrick, the problem we're having is very simple. It's not. See, this is not it's not even against Burnley. This has been happening since August. We play good first half, sometimes outstanding first half, sometimes marvelous first half. Guess what? When we go into second half, we come back from second half, we became trash. And I'm asking myself, didn't we have a manager? Is the manager not the one coaching us? Why we play very good in the first half, when we go into second half, we play rubbish? And I'm asking myself a question: what is going on in that dressing room? If you have a captain, the captain is James is out. Okay, who is the next captain that can have a conversation with the players?
Raheem, maybe give it to Raheem.
So if the manager is not talking, there's somebody has to come out and talk and have a conversation with the guys. Guys, let's keep on doing this what we are doing right now. No complacent. Let's go out and kill the game and win it, and let's go home together. So that's what I expect from the players, because it's all about continuity. But when we go out in the first half, we come back in second half, we became trash. And I'm asking myself, what the heck is going on here? That one is not even paying me. What makes me laugh is we can't even defend set piece. And they asked this man a simple question in the press conference. He said, I don't need a set piece coach. I need a specialist in the player. And I'm asking myself, you don't need a set piece coach, but you need a specialist in player, in set piece. Are you drunk?
But I can't lie. With obviously Pochettino, and I know obviously how Chelsea fans feel. With obviously they've been struggling. They think things are not getting better. This might be uncomfortable for Chelsea fans to swallow, but I'm gonna say this. I don't think if you guys sack Pochettino, things will really improve because like when you think about it, you need to fix your structure and like Todd Bowley has ruined you guys because he's an American owner. I know this because obviously I'm as an Arsenal fan like we always complain about our owners and we know how American owners they don't like to spend money. They only care about a profit.
Yeah, but he spent money. Look at how much he
Yeah,
spent.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
man.
But
He's got every.
here's the difference between him and the Cronkies at Arsenal. Like their owners are just throwing money like at the problem. They don't. It's just a scattergun approach from Chelsea with no like proper plan in place. Like nobody knows what they actually want to do. That's the thing.
I think to cut it short, I think you are wrong because this team is young. Where you do just this team is not a level table for me.
Yeah, but Abdullah, how long are you just going to be saying Young FC? How long are you going to be saying Young FC?
The issue is I'm not even expecting us to win the league. I'm only expecting us to be in Europa League in /E because I know the team.
I don't even think you make it. You've been 11th since the beginning of the season.
The problem is I'm not even expecting us to even win or compete, but I'm expecting a style of play where I know okay, this is the philosophy. Even if we are losing match, I will agree that okay, we are losing matches and I understand how the manager wants to play. Maybe some of the players needs to wake up and play more, or somebody needs to fix a little bit of tweak something. But there's no style of play, there's no philosophy, and people are coming at Chelsea and say, "Why would we not? Why would not be harsh on Pochettino? Because he's behaving as a rookie manager."
The super chats have come through.
Yeah, there's a comment here. I'm gonna go to forward. It says, "Thank you. Sacking Poch will do nothing. People want to blame him for 2 seasons of terrible form. Unfortunately, we have to ride out for another season."
No one's blaming him for 2 seasons of terrible form. What are you? Why are you lying? No one's blaming him for 2 seasons of terrible form.
Yeah. So basically, some people there's poaching out there. So what about forward? You're very quiet on this forward.
I mean, honestly, I was hoping you didn't come to me, to be honest. I'm kind of tired of talking about these scrubs, if I'm honest. But since I'm here...
Let me ask you something forward. I don't get Chelsea. I don't know. As I told you off camera, I admire so many players. Prime, I told you forward off camera that if there was a choice of somebody who we could have taken to City to fix our midfield, which sometimes our midfield has been looking funny, Rodri has been left alone. I would say Caicedo next to Rodri looks good, but maybe not. But I would say Enzo could have been great at City. I have even Gusto. I would take Gusto from you guys just like that. But the thing is, Pochettino has no excuses. That's why I was saying for him to be going to the press saying, "Oh, we need to buy more." I laughed that time. I think Prime and Leeward, we did a video and I was asking them, why does he mean by buy more? What does he want to buy? I think you've got a selection. Why don't you just work with what you have? But forward, how can you move forward with this? I don't get it. I just because do you sack him? Who are you gonna pick up? Because there's just.
Well, listen, like obviously the guy needs to be sacked. I think anybody with a decent understanding of the game understands that this guy's a fraud, and he has had enough chances to show that he's good enough, and he is not good enough. And same with Ten Hag, they're just not good enough. They need to be sacked. It's very simple, right? And that doesn't excuse all the mistakes of the board or to say that this team is like title worthy. No, this team isn't title worthy. It's got a lot of holes in it in terms of not having like reliable finishers in attack. It's not got a lot of leaders, of course. And those are 2 big things that any good team needs. Again, any great team in history, you cannot find any team in any of those great teams that haven't got at least a bit of top experience and also some really good finishers in the team. We have neither. So of course that's missing. However, we cannot make excuses for a manager that started off the season with Ben Chilwell at left wing. Things like that cannot be excused. The fact that even till now our patterns of play are not like certified in the team, which has a lot of, again, like Prime was saying, this is a team that has a lot of technical players. So how can we not have established style of play, and how can we not consistently outplay teams like Burnley with 10 men with these level of players? It's crazy. So
Pochettino came out. Sorry for to interrupt you. Pochettino came out in the quote after the game, and he admitted that when the team has nowhere to turn, their solution is give the ball to Cole Palmer. He will know what to do.
Again, that brings me to a point that I did want to actually make. So again, thank you for that, because again, I do want to also talk about Cole Palmer and a certain somebody in that City team. Which last time I was on and I said some things, I was getting cooked in the comments. But again, we're going to revisit that. But again, like Prime said, like this coach, there is no real tactic, and we're just relying on individual brilliance to win us games, and that can only get you so far. Again, we have enough players here. We have the level of players here to play better football, to control games better, to win games better. But again, this manager he's not a proper tactician like that. He's not on the touchline barking out orders saying that this needs to be there, this needs to be there. No, he's like a man manager in terms of like, oh, I want to be pally with these players and get them to work hard and run. But like, this isn't 2015 anymore. Like, tactics have evolved, the game has evolved. Unfortunately for us, Poch has not evolved with the game, so that's the biggest issue. Of course, he needs to be fired. And is it doom and gloom for Chelsea? Not completely, no, because again, we have the talent there. But of course, we have to attack certain issues with the club, issues with the team, and that's of course having proper finishes up front. I can take the chances that we are creating, and of course, you have to bring in experience, because again, no top team can work without any proper experience. You haven't got proper experience. All we have is Thiago Silva, who's clearly over the hill, and then Raheem Sterling, who's never been a leader in his life and never will be. Like, so you can't rely on that.
All right.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, David. David, go ahead.
I hear what you guys are saying about Poch, but personally, I'm not saying this to be funny. I think Chelsea should keep him, because it's true that some of his selection decisions have been borderline criminal, and he has possibly disappointed. No, he's not possibly. He's disappointed. But here's the thing that I would say. Chelsea have built their squad in a way that was never going to be successful in the short term. It was never going to be successful in the short term. The owners came in with a seemingly clever plan, but what they did not anticipate is that when you put together a bunch of young men who 21, 22, 23 years old, you give them 8-year contracts. These boys are playing with zero work, with zero stress, because you cannot bring them up. That's it was a smart move in terms of balancing your books, giving Caicedo an 8-year contract, giving Malo Gusto a 7-year contract, giving all of those contracts out. But the flip side with that is, on the pitch, if it doesn't work, they really do not care, because what are you going to do? Keep me on the bench? What's the worst that can happen to them? So they play with that without any real sense of jeopardy, and that is going to have its effect on not only the manager but the squad.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, but I think it's a part of it that is conveniently being ignored. At the end of the day, we tend to usually forget that footballers are human beings. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'll tell you at the end of the day, footballers are human beings. You have taken Moises Caicedo out of Brighton and Hove Albion. You slapped him on 150k a year, guaranteed 150k a week, guaranteed for 8 years. Of course, he wants to do well in his career, but you know what? If he's not doing well, he's not to ask, because the worst that could happen is 150k a week. And I don't think it's a major issue when it happens with one player. The problem is your entire squad is built that way. Your entire squad is built that way. So you don't.
Listen,
no. Well, wait.
Let me just make a clear point, right? Like, because I get where he's coming from. I do get where he's coming from in terms of, like, again, the team wasn't built in a proper way, like in a way that's conducive for success. And that's why, like, listen, I wanted top 5 for the start of the season, but I recognize that this squad wasn't built to probably get top 5, given like what we cycled again. We didn't sign proper attackers, we didn't address certain holes in the team, and obviously
I don't think it was
made in some of those players that we left. But the point I want to make clear quickly is that, should this group of players be 11? Should this group of players be below the likes of Wolves and injury-stricken Brighton and injury-stricken Newcastle?
No.
The answer is clearly no. And I don't know how you can say that they should be.
Let me say, that's my point, by the way. There's no defending, like, I think the reason why everyone's looking at everything with such scrutiny is because of how poorly we are doing on the pitch. We have been in 10th or 11th place for the vast majority of the season. We have been so poor on the field.
I'm going to agree
Hold on.
100%. I predicted
We've
it.
been so poor on the field that
I
everyone's
predicted
looking.
this.
Oh,
By the
let me
way, I
finish.
predicted this in
Let me finish.
August.
We're so poor on the field that everyone's looking at things with such a huge magnifying glass. Oh, these 8-year death row contracts. These things only look bad because of how poorly we're doing on the pitch. Who's responsible for how poor we're doing on the pitch? The manager. Now, I will say this: the owners are responsible for hiring Poch and not sacking him up until this point. So
you need
that's
to
on them.
understand
But
why
we
the
can't.
owners.
But we
You need to
cannot pretend.
understand. You
But
need to
let's not
understand why
act
the
as if.
owners
Let's not
brought
act as
Pod.
if.
There's,
Let's
there's,
not
there's,
act as if.
there were other
Hold on,
managers.
bro. Hold on, bro.
One
Hold
second.
on, bro.
Hold on. Let him speak. Let
Let's
Prime
not
speak.
act as
Quiet.
if. Let's not like act as if. Let's just keep Poch because like it's not on him. Because I say this, you guys as rivals, would you take this if this was at your club? You wouldn't. Arsenal fans who are loving Arteta right now, 2 years ago, you guys all wanted him gone. You all wanted him gone.
Yeah, many wanted him gone. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
I remember
No, it's not
like
many.
Prime.
It's not
Remember,
many. It's not
some
many.
came on this channel, wanted him
we just
gone.
I know, Patrick. It's not many.
felt like
They
he
all,
needed
even
to
the
get
most fond
results.
Arteta
Most of them
defenders
wanted him
wanted
gone.
him gone.
Most of them wanted him
Everyone
gone.
wanted him gone. Everyone. So
And I
let's
think
Even
not
they're not
act.
paying him very
even
well.
the man troops.
But
Even
that
the
just
man
proves
troops
what I'm
wanted him
saying.
gone.
That just
Thank you.
proves
So
what I'm
let's not
saying.
act as if a manager underperforming should get time. No, not everyone
No,
compares it with Arteta.
you're just
Arteta,
making a
what
point that
Arteta is
proves what I'm
doing, not
saying.
every
You
manager
said
will
that
get that.
Arteta was
Man United fans
underperforming,
with
and
Ten,
then
hold
they
on.
stayed with him.
Man United fans,
Trust the
hold on. Man
process.
United fans with Ten Hag, he's doing poorly. He deserves to get sacked. There's no saying he will turn things around. Same with Poch. There's no saying he will turn things around and have an Arteta effect and take you in a title race or whatever. There's no saying that. Get rid.
That's why I fundamentally disagree in the comparison between the situations at Chelsea and United. They are two very different situations. United in a situation where they brought a manager in from Ajax who asked for Ajax style players that he built, by the way, Lisandro Martinez and Anthony, who's the less said the better, and he's got Onana as well, and he's got his players. Yeah, that team is Eric Ten Hag's team. It's the same. On the other hand, 90% of the players that are at Chelsea, or maybe not 90, maybe 60 to 70 of the players that are at Chelsea, Poch had nothing to do with them coming there to begin with.
And that's Poch's fault.
So how
He knew what he was signing up for.
I mean,
no,
how's that his fault?
that cannot
Because he
be his
knew what
fault.
he was
Tell me
signing
he
up for. That's
accepted
his
the job.
problem.
It's not
Did he
his
have a
fault.
say
That's his
on the
problem.
signings? Like,
That's his
did he have a-
problem. He knew what he was signing up for. That's his problem.
Of
No,
course, it's his
but
problem
that
to
was
fix.
because
My point is
he
this.
wanted to work with young players. But at the
No,
same at the same time, there were other people who were linked with the Chelsea job, like Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique before he went to PSG. And when Luis
Yes.
Enrique knew like how Chelsea were being run and
They rejected us. Yes.
and they said no because
Yeah.
your
by
owners
by
they
that
want to
very
call the shots and they want
admission,
to
you
say
should be
you
praising Poch
have
for
to
even
do
attempting
this,
the
this,
job.
and this. And if you don't do this, you're getting sacked. That's what happened to
Okay.
Tuchel when
Okay, good.
when
And
Tuchel
Pochettino took the
wanted his
job.
way, he
Exactly
got
that.
sacked.
You're saying that
Pochettino
everybody
accepted
swerved
the
the
job.
job that Poch
He
decided to take on.
Pochettino knew what he was getting into. He took the job. But let's not feel sorry for him. He knew what he was getting into.
I don't feel sorry for Poch. I don't think you guys are hearing me. I don't feel sorry for Poch. I just feel like there's a lot that is being said about Poch that is taken out of the larger context of the situation of Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea have a front line that is essentially Raheem Sterling with experience and a bunch of kids.
Talented kids, though. Talented kids.
David.
Yeah,
Jackson is
yeah.
not a kid.
Oh,
On this channel, I don't accept that Jackson is a kid. On this channel, I don't accept that Jackson is that age. No, that's not Jackson's age.
okay.
Man,
It's okay to debate that, but my point is, you have Raheem Sterling and a bunch of inexperienced footballers. Of course,
yeah,
they
but
were always.
Thiago Silva is
Now,
experienced.
it's not. I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not saying this in hindsight. I predicted this in August. I predicted Chelsea being 10th all season in August. No matter what Poch would have done, no matter what any manager would have done, because I was looking at the way the squad was being put together, and it just looked to me, at least at the time,
Can I
like
ask you a question though? Can I ask
this.
you just a
Hold on.
legitimate question?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get you can see with foresight. Okay, maybe this wasn't gonna work given the players and everything, but I get that. But like, you can't just continue to fail. You can't just continue to fail and merit staying on in a job. Like it doesn't work in
That's not
practical
what I'm
life.
saying.
We kind of. I know, but but this is the point I'm trying to make because all I've
That
really
is
seen
what
is
you
him
said,
failing
but you
and
said
doing a lot of things wrong.
That
So
is
my
what you said.
question is, what have you seen him do right that merits? Okay, yes, this has been a pussy, but merits him actually keeping his job for next season. Because as a Chelsea fan, he's watched every single minute of every single game this season. I've not seen enough good things that he's done like and applied to this team that merits. You know what? Yes, with more experience and all of these things, he's going to be better. Because for me, he's failed in a lot of different areas. So what has he done well?
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment to make. By the way, and as a Chelsea fan, you would have watched them more than I have. Yeah, so that's a fair assessment to make. But I think that in moments when I have watched Chelsea, they have moments. I was listening earlier, and someone said Chelsea have moments in games where they are looking like, oh yeah, they are on top of it, and then they slip up again. And that's for me, at least. I look at it and what goes on in my head is, okay, this is a bunch of people who are put together who do not know how to manage a football match. And that is down to the manager, by the way. He has to
Yes.
make them capable of managing a football match. But what I'm saying is this, as a whole bundle, I don't think that Mauricio Pochettino being sacked is going to fix anything, because you're going to bring a new manager who is going to have to deal with the exact same structural problems that the squad has. It's not going to be much different.
For me,
no,
by the way, can I just say, no Chelsea fan is saying that sacking Poch is going to solve everything. We always say that, yeah, sack the manager, but we need to change things at board level, change things in our recruitment. Again, our recruitment system last season meant that we could only sign players that were 24 and under. That makes no sense, and we need experienced players. And again, it was a young team that we already removed. We removed a lot of experience in the likes of Rudiger, the likes of Mount, the likes of all these other experienced players that we removed.
And
of course, you
by
need to
the way,
replace that with experienced
we're
players.
showing that we're changing our recruitment process. You know why? Because who have Chelsea been linked with for the vast majority of the season to sign in the summer? Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney. How old are they?
Yeah.
Are they under 20?
No, they're not.
Yeah, and they're experienced for many years at top level.
There's also something that I'm going to say. There's something which is being ignored as well. Christopher
got quite a
Nkunku.
bit of experience, especially, for example, with Napoli, and obviously being in different leagues. Obviously, he's played for Lille, he's played in Champions League, and obviously
He's won.
obviously, yeah, exactly. So he knows what it means to win a trophy. So he would add a winning mentality.
Yeah, but also Nkunku was a baller. Let's move on to this game, guys, because we have stayed on Chelsea for so long. We have no solution.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, in the discussion about Pochettino, there's a lot that is being materially ignored. If you
there is.
A lot does not get ignored. A lot does not get ignored.
If you look at Chelsea, I've not checked the numbers. Yeah, I've not checked the numbers, but I have this in my head because of Fantasy Premier League. I have this in my head. Up until the 31st of December of last year, Chelsea were fourth in terms of XG created. You know, in terms of XG actually converted, Chelsea were 18th in the league. That tells you something. We are creating chances and we have shit finishers. If Christopher Nkunku doesn't get injured in preseason, Chelsea create those chances and they don't have to rely on Nicholas Jackson, who's one of the worst XG underperformers in the league. It's a completely different conversation.
That is true, but we also have to accept the information that in second half of games we are the most underperforming team in the whole league, and that comes down to the manager.
That's on the manager. The manager has to fix that. I'm not saying that Klopp and Poch has been perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that a lot of the conversation around Poch is taken out of the general context of Chelsea.
No, it's not. Everything you're saying right now. We have been saying this. We don't just speak about Poch. But for when you rivals, all you guys hear is us talking about Poch. Don't hear us talking about.
I hear the full conversation. I'm talking about. I hear the full conversation. I hear the full conversation. I just feel like Poch took a job that nobody really wanted, and then he's not. And I get it. And with Chelsea fans in particular, and that's why I say I understand where you're coming from. You're coming from 15, 20 years of, if it doesn't work after 2 weeks, you're out the door. You're coming from that culture. So it's normal that you feel that, okay, first things first, we need to get rid of this guy. I would never blame a Chelsea fan for being that way. You were owned by Abramovich for over 20 years. or close to 20 years. And that was the culture of it.
What you're saying is wrong. You're doing this, Chelsea are spoiled thing. It's not being spoiled. We are 11.
No,
This
I'm not
isn't
saying that you're spoiled.
this isn't a,
You're not
this
hearing
isn't
me.
a,
You're not
it's
hearing
not
me.
working in 2
I'm not
weeks. Get
calling you
rid.
spoiled. I'm
This
not
is
calling you. I
beyond.
don't think it's
No,
spoiled.
I'm
No.
not saying.
Let me respond to
I'm
that.
not
And
saying
that
we
brother
are.
that's
My thing is, this isn't a thing of a manager comes in, it's not working for 2 weeks, get rid. This is beyond failure for any club in the Premier League. It's beyond failure. It's
It
not a
is.
thing.
11 since the beginning of the season, right? Since the beginning.
There is no real system or pattern of play.
I'm
We are
not.
literally
Again, I'm saying you're not hearing me.
Without Cole Palmer's goals and assists this season, we would be in the relegation zone.
Except that you have Kopama's goals and assists. That's the thing. So this
So because we have Cole
those
Palmer,
hypothetical conversations of ifs, buts, and whys. And I've just given another if here. If Nkunku was fit, you're probably not in this predicament. You know, the point that I'm making is this. I understand from the perspective of a Chelsea fan why this is so upsetting. But when you remove yourself from that perspective of a Chelsea fan and look at it in the bigger picture, I think you was talking about how Arsenal fans wanted Arteta out after 18 months. If you remove the Chelsea culture over the last 20 years or so, right? And I'm not saying that Chelsea fans are sports, by the way. It's just the way it is. Yeah. Chelsea have built a culture of getting rid of the manager if it's not working, and it has worked for them. The fans now are not used to, Chelsea fans now are not used to being in that period where we see a manager being shit for 18 months and we have to look at it there and believe that it's going to work. That's why I keep saying that in the whole context of Chelsea Football Club, with Pochettino, the way the team was built, the way the structure upstairs is at Chelsea, I do think that with an extra 18 months, or an extra 12 months even, this squad and maybe 2 or 3 key recruitment in key areas, this thing competes for, at the very least, the Europa League. I think that
No. Abdullah, we're gonna have to move. We're gonna have to move. Now we're gonna have to move. Prime. We're gonna have to move.
Manager.
Yeah, Prime. We're gonna have to move out of this Chelsea thing. So let's go to this game. I'll give it to Forward because Forward says he's got a lot of questions and words for this game. So obviously this was advertised by Sky. Prime. This was advertised by BT Sports, even though they didn't show it. I saw banners on the buses saying this is it. I woke up in the morning. Every time I play Liverpool, I usually shake. I'm scared. I have anxiety. I didn't care. I slept like a baby because it was Arsenal after all. It's not like I don't respect Arsenal, but it's just I was like it's Arsenal coming to the ground. But after watching this game, Pep and Arteta could have just had a chessboard at home and played together and not wasted our time watching 90 minutes of boring football. But when I looked at the game later on, I was like, why I'm gonna start with Forward. Maybe I'm being disingenuous because I'm a City fan. So I'll start with you, Forward, because you're a neutral. Prime is a neutral. Abdullah is a neutral. Dave is a neutral. Me and obviously
I'm not a
Dave
neutral, I'm a
here.
City fan.
Oh yeah, Dave is so Dave. I'm gonna take you out. So I'm gonna just go to the neutral guys. Prime, I want you guys to discuss this. You guys, when you're looking for this outside, so Arteta parked the bus, and Arsenal fans are saying he's not parking the bus. It's a defensive masterclass. I went and checked the stats. It's actually City who have got a better, I think, goal scoring percentage, and City had about 700 to Arsenal's 200 passes, and then City had a high percentage with the ball, and Arsenal had 26. So when I was arguing with Arsenal fans, saying you parked the bus, I said no, we didn't park the bus. Defensive masterclass. How did you guys see it from outside? I'll start with Forward. How did you see this game from outside?
What I saw this game from the outside is pretty much just an accurate indictment of where the game is right now. The sport as a whole right now is in as bad a place as I've ever seen it, because again, a lot of these so-called top players are not the Mavericks, are not the match winners, are not the guys with so much natural ability and flair to impact games like this. Again, a lot of these top players are robots. They're system players. Not that they can't play in other systems, but they're just forced to play in these systems that really refine their games and make it very basic. And again, the state of the game now is that the 2 top teams will play each other, and there's 8 centre backs starting on the pitch. to 8 centre backs and 2 DMs sitting in front of these guys, and we're talking about, oh, this is the best defense in the world. This is an amazing defense. But cool, there's some really good defenders on that pitch, but they're also being heavily protected by these systems with 2 centre backs in front of them and 2 centre backs wide of them. So that's my first point, that the game was horrible, and it's just another shocking indictment on where the game is right now. Yes, Arsenal dictated how that game went, because obviously they could play a more expansive game, but they went there and parked the bus and restricted themselves from playing the football that we've seen them play for most of this calendar year, where they've obviously scored more goals than anybody in Europe, not even just the league, in Europe. So obviously Arsenal came with a game plan, which I don't like in terms of like the spectacle. Obviously, I'm watching here also as like from a competitive standpoint, where Arsenal have been horrible at Etihad for many years, and they're trying to like break the stranglehold that City have on the league. So in that aspect of what Arsenal came to do, which is to try and slow the game down and play for pretty much just corners and set pieces, the whole that one of their set pieces can provide a goal, and on the other side just really try and nullify City. I have to applaud Arsenal and Arteta and say that, you know what, your tactics worked, and maybe on another day if your set pieces were better, you could have scored from that, and it didn't look like City were going to score, and that's City with all of their attacking players available. So I'll give Arsenal credit for that. They executed their game plan, even though their attack was quite mid in the opportunities that they did have to counter. They also did defend well, so I'll give them their credit. But for Man City now, you have Arsenal at home. You're in a title race again. We all say big bad City at this time of the year. They win every game when they win the league. This is what they do. Yeah. And we're gonna have to talk about certain individuals in your team, which we will get to as well. But as a whole, you have to say that it. Because I want to give certain players certain segments for themselves. Again, we'll obviously one of them is going to have to be KDB. One's going to be a certain striker up front. And we'll talk about some other players as well. But just as a whole, right? As a whole, you do have to say it just wasn't enough. Like it just wasn't the City that we're used to seeing. Again, it wasn't a fluid City. Again, I did comment to the game predicting 1-1. Because I did feel like you guys just haven't been at it of recent. I didn't expect the game to be that cagey.
No, big. You and me, we're gonna leave this. You and me, let's leave this one yet. Because you and me, we are the owners of this. So you, me, and Dave, we're leaving this. Cool. So let's go to Prime.
Let me just to round up my point. Obviously, again, I didn't expect it to be this cagey, but again, Arsenal did what they came to do, and it really was on City being the home team, being also the team behind in the table to really show that emphasis and for their attacking players to really take stranglehold of the game. And yeah, Bernardo had some good moments in that, but obviously he's not necessarily that defined match winner like you look at De Bruyne to be. But De Bruyne was horrible performance from De Bruyne again in a big game, because again against Man United and against Liverpool he was cheeks. He was absolute cheeks, and again today and again yesterday he was cheeks.
Yeah, man.
Haaland, again, you're 6'5" and you can't hold up the ball. You can't like bully one of the defenders and try and like link players or just try and win fouls. You can't do that. And again, when you had the chance to score or to assist Diaz, he was there for that chance at the end. It goes through your legs. Again, the people want to give this guy a Ballon d'Or. I'm sorry. When the day this guy gets a Ballon d'Or, the sport's finished. I'm sorry. The sport's finished.
Let's be honest. That last one, give it the guy. Let's stop giving Ballon d'Ors just because of names. Last Ballon d'Or is given because of a name. My man did not.
At least the names are top footballers, and I'm sorry, Haaland, outside of scoring goals, which I'll give you credit for. Your movement's great. You're a pretty good finisher, not a great finisher, but you're a pretty good finisher. You're good at sniffing out chances, but
not a great
his
finisher.
Impact on football is
the game, by the way. Not a great finisher.
He's not a great finisher. No, he's not a great finisher.
What?
He's not a great finisher.
There is no footballer who's played over 200 games in the 21st century. I mean, no footballer. I'm not talking include Messi and Ronaldo, by the way. In the 21st century, with a better goal ratio per game than Erling Haaland.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute, and I'll give it to him that he's a great goal scorer. No. But I hear you. Like I told you right now, he's a great goal scorer. He's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. But I'm sorry, there's a difference between goal scoring and finishing. Like, how many times do you look at Haaland and say, "Wow, that was an amazing finish that none of us mere mortals could do"? But I'm sorry, when I look at the guys like Thierry Henry, the guys like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, guys like Robin van Persie, they could finish chances on a crazy level.
Dave, we'll come later, Dave. Let's forward land.
Again, just to make the point that, listen, because now we're talking about Haaland, we'll talk about Haaland in it. Cool. When again, great goal scorer, probably the best goal scorer in Premier League history if he stays for a long enough period of time. Cool, but we have to analyze and accept that there's a difference between goal scoring and finishing. When I talk about finishing, I'm talking about if there's a chance that's a low XG chance, is he going to put it away? And I look at guys like Henry, Van Persie, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Again, there's many other examples. Samuel Eto'o, Luis Suarez. These guys were scorers of great goals. And Haaland, other than maybe the occasional acrobatic finish, he doesn't score great goals. He scores good tap-ins, they're great movement. But again, he's not a great header of the ball. He's not a great finisher on his right foot. His left foot's decent, but does he score that many goals that you think, wow, not many strikers could ever score that? No. Again, anybody can pull up his compilation of goals, and maybe one in maybe 50 will be like, wow, that was an amazing finish. I'm sorry, but he's a good finisher, not a great finisher. And I feel like if you all look at the game objectively, you will see that.
Okay, cool.
And again, that's just finishing, by the way. His hold-up play, ability to bully defenders is not there. And Roy Keane made the point that he's a League Two player. No, but listen, I'm not going to go as far as Roy Keane, because obviously Roy Keane's got a grudge against that family, right? But he has a point when he talks about Haaland's overall game, which is not there. His hold-up play is not there. Your ability as a 6'5" guy to hold up play and like bully defenders, I'm sorry, it's not there. Gabriel ate him for breakfast. And I'm thinking Saliba, who's not the biggest guy, can you bully him? No, he couldn't bully him. So listen, Haaland, it leaves a lot for me to be desired.
Do you think it's the fact that maybe because I watched him at Dortmund where he had more space, and I watched him in other places.
Exactly that.
The guy looks like the guy can play football, but since he came to the Prem, where he's in a Pep team, I've noticed that he taught by Pep to just stand in front. Because I was watching him forward, I was like, you know what? I watched all his videos back in the days and some of his matches. The guy was moving. The guy was holding the ball, controlling the ball, dribbling past people, getting assists in the team more than the top assister in the team. But he came to the Prem, and I was expecting, obviously, Guardiola to unlock. I've only seen it in a few games. I saw it against Arsenal last season where he was dropping in, playing around, and then he caused the Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, against
yeah, no, that's true. Listen, let me say this right, because people feel like I'm not being balanced. People will feel that people say that I have yeah, I do. But let me say this right. People will just say that, oh, I have an agenda, right? Like I watched Haaland at Dortmund, and he was certainly more excited. Like he was really more excited, right? And if he went to Liverpool and played the Klopp system where instead of Nunes, right, he would be more excited. He would obviously have a lot more space to run into. He would be a bit more of a handful. Yes, I'm not going to deny that. Again, I before this game, right, I watched the City Arsenal highlights, not of this game that just happened Sunday because nothing happened. It was a dead game. I'm talking about the game from last season where you slapped them 4-1 at the Etihad, and it was one of Haaland's best games despite missing multiple chances. But he still got 2 assists. He scored 1 goal late in the game to pretty much kill it off. But he was actually a threat because the game was more in transition. And in transition, Haaland, yes, he is an impact on games. He can be more of a threat for sure. But that being said, obviously, yes, in the Pep system, he's relegated to pretty much just poaching and the occasional long ball, but it's obviously really there. Do you think because of his young age, maybe he will try to realize? Because Thierry O'Neill was telling me that when he was younger, he thought, oh, I can just stand here as a 9. Then he decided to say, you know what, I've had enough. I can go and do more than just stand here. Because Thierry O'Neill said it also on CBS, and then Haaland started dropping in. I was like, did you listen to Thierry? Remember when Thierry told him that you're so left-footed, if you start finishing with your right foot, you do this. And Haaland had the right foot. So do you think? Do you think with his age, maybe he can? Because people keep saying, I think people are disingenuous when they say that he's a dead baller. Because I've seen him play football. I have seen him. He's not a fully dead baller. No, he can play a bit, but I'm saying he's got limitations, and obviously there is room for improvement. But obviously, I just say that when in transition, yes, he can be a handful. But other than that, no, he is quite limited. His link-up play isn't great. His ability to hold up players and like be a bully, be a 6'5" target man isn't there. Again, his target man play compared to like a Giroud is night and day. He's nowhere near Giroud in that aspect of the game. But of course, in transition, his movement in the box, his finishing is good, and obviously he's a great scorer of goals. Of course, like he's a great goal scorer. But I'm sorry, in terms of like scoring really good goals, being a top finisher, like. Yeah, putting away tough chances. I'm sorry, he's not elite in that.
Putting away tough chances. He did that for fun at Dortmund.
Yeah, but full of Dortmund goals. Was he scoring amazing goals from 25 yards, or he's spinning like this and then putting it in the bottom corner, top corner? Like no, he wasn't scoring great goals.
Yeah, just go on YouTube, look for his debut goal, PSG, Borussia Dortmund, UCL.
Yeah, running in transition, 1v1. Yeah, of course he can score that goal. That's great.
Bangers at Dortmund.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Prime. Prime and
he's not a great finisher. He's not.
Yeah. So Prime and Bilal, well, how did you see the game yesterday? Because
Patrick, I've said this from day one. You might take on City and Haaland. City are not playing to Haaland's strength at all.
No, not Haaland. I'm talking about the game. It's Arsenal versus
the game for me was I was literally just sleeping on that game because I don't understand what Pep and Arteta is doing in terms of that game because that game was boring. People are saying Arteta packed the body is a masterclass. I don't think it's a masterclass because City did not play to the level I expect them to play. Because if they play to that level for me, they should be able to beat Arsenal, regardless of the packing of the bus, whatever they like it for me. And I think Pep's selection for me, I do not like it. I would have expected either Grealish or Jeremy Doku to play. Either one of Bernardo Silva, one of Foden has to be on the bench for me. Yeah, sometimes Pep has to make some very, very brutal
What do you
decisions.
mean Foden? Hasn't Foden been in better form than KDB? Maybe KDB could have been dropped.
Maybe yes, maybe KDB, but again, KDB is
Yeah.
experience. You know you can always rely on him to have that passing him and everything. So between
But
KDB,
can we
Foden,
though?
and Bernardo,
Can we really though?
yeah. But the problem is between Foden, KDB, and Bernardo, one of them needs to be dropped because you need one. Because the way Arsenal were playing yesterday, you can see that on the left hand side, if you can see Gaviot, it was. Imagine Gaviot can use his boot hook and dribble player. It will of course more issue. But the problem is, imagine you have Grealish or Jeremy Doku in that position. That would be much, much better because you know that's a natural left winger who can disturb Arsenal. But you don't have it. So it's a little bit, it's like a minus 10 to you guys. And the kind of way you guys set up is a little bit awkward for me. And with Arsenal, I've been saying this thing for Arsenal. I'm not, for me, watching as a rival. Arsenal doesn't kind of scare me when I watch them because I'm looking at the attacker for me. The attacker doesn't scare me. Yeah, they have very good midfield and a very good defense. That for me, but the attack for me, they don't scare me because I don't trust them when it comes to being clinical. Yes, they've been scoring against Sheffield, Newcastle, and Co. But I think when they face a big team in terms of maybe like a City, maybe possibly yes, maybe United, a big team like that is very good. I don't see them being clinical enough, like to beat that team to say, okay, I trust these people to be clinical enough to to beat this team. I don't trust them in that situation. So
Abdullah, there's a comment. He says Klopp has never beaten Pep twice in the same season. Pep has never beaten Klopp twice in the same season. But when Arsenal get a massive point away, it's a disgrace. Remember everyone, Jose's Chelsea. Do you know what
No,
I have
let's
an
hold on. Patrick, let me comment on this. Let's not
yeah.
do this. I'm a Chelsea fan. Everybody used to give me abuse about how Chelsea played stinking out wins. I watched Patrick, I watched you on the terrace yesterday, you and Vater, and the way people continuously go for you guys on the terrace isn't fair. People saying that when Porto played defensive, people praised it. You know who didn't praise that defensive performance? Arsenal fans. They said Porto played like Burnley. Diego Simeone, when he plays defensive, everyone says it's terrorism football. When it's Mourinho, it's terrorism. When it's Conte, it's terrorism. When it's Arsenal, it's chess piece, defensive masterclass. Let's just be honest with what it is. You guys packed the bus against Man
No,
City.
I'll be honest.
I'm not. Don't
It was
drop me.
offensive.
Don't drop me. You parked the bus against Man City, and it was a great defensive game, but you were afraid of losing. But ultimately, you played a weakened Man City team that had injuries that, in my opinion, they were there for the taking. You could have got 3 points. They were there for the taking, and you didn't. And I'll praise you for the point, and I'll praise you for the defensive display. That was great. But ultimately, you could have taken advantage of this title race because praising this draw when Liverpool are still top is ridiculous to me. Everyone's like getting overly excited, and Patrick, remember I said this to you months back that
Yeah.
everyone keeps focusing on talking about Man City instead of winning their own games. Liverpool did this for years. That's why Liverpool only won one Prem and they bottled two. Arsenal last season, the reason why they didn't win the Prem is not because of Saliba's injury. It's because they were focused on Man City. Oh, Man City play at 12, so if they win, that means we have to win our game, or we play first. So we're clear now. But City, if they play tomorrow stop focusing on Man City. Who cares about Man City? Win your own games and you'll win the league. Win your own games. That's all you can do. All you can do is win. What they're doing this season, they've just been focused on winning their games, and now no one's speaking about the fact that they're top. Everyone keeps talking about Man City. City are third. Why are Arsenal so worried about Man City? Why are you so worried about? Because ultimately, taking 4 points from Man City might not mean anything. Because Arsenal might not still win this league. It might be Liverpool.
Yeah. Wait. Did Liverpool slap? No. Liverpool did not beat us this season, but at the end of the day, I think I said this, and I'm gonna go to you big now because now I know you're waiting to answer all this. I said this on the football tennis. I think you watched me, and I
Yeah,
said
I watched it.
first because I was forward, I was in the football tennis, and I said why I said it to Terry, big up Terry. I was like Terry, why have you made an intro saying big up to Arteta and his defensive display? I was like they have 26% in possession. And you're saying big up to Saliba and big up to Gabriel for keeping Haaland quiet. Okay, I get it. But I was like, where's the big up to Akanji and Lewis, Lewis, who's an 18-year-old academy kid, and then big up to what's his name, Josko for pocketing Saka. Apparently, Saka was injured, according to them. He sat him down twice, by the way. And then where's the big up to Diaz locking up Kai Havertz? Because in the preview, a lot of man told me that Kai Havertz is going to dunk on Diaz, but Kai Havertz had no shots, and Kai Havertz struggled. So this is the funny thing is, it looks like this side is getting praise, and the fun thing about Arsenal fans is, you guys easily sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, maybe it's gonna hurt you guys. You easily get tempted by pundits and YouTubers, and they sometimes they sell you dreams. Because I admit it, look, you guys, your defense is great, but you, do you know the answers I'm getting online forward today? They're saying, "Oh, but we had two shots more than you on target." I was like, "We had one shot, you had two on target. We had like 12 or 16 shots in total. You had like six. You're looking at the stats and look at that game. Would you sit there and be proud? I'm not proud of my team. I am not proud at all. I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, big up to Akanji and Diaz for stopping Kai Havertz and Jesus." Jesus was subbed.
You had one
Look,
more
this
Yeah,
shot
I
and a
mean,
team that were defensively nullified. Like,
this is what I'm
I'll
this is what I'm
be
saying. And
honest. Like, I watched that game. Obviously, like also from a defensive point of view, they did well from a defensive point of view, and I don't. And really and truly, I think Arteta, from how we saw the game was going, he didn't really want. I don't think he really wanted to intentionally pack the bus the whole game because I think after because obviously you were dominating from majority of the
yeah,
game.
but
I think
26% isn't that intentional?
yeah,
26% of the
Brother,
ball.
just for context, that was less than Copenhagen. So again, you can't tell
yeah,
me Arsenal chose. Arsenal couldn't have more possession than Copenhagen. They couldn't. They couldn't have. If they wanted to, they could have.
yeah, but I think with how the game was going, Arteta realized he had to adapt. If Plan A wasn't working, he had to now go for Plan B.
What was plan B?
Like he just had to be more resolute defensively, and I think I
Well,
just
so
feel we
but just to ask, sorry, you don't think what we saw was Plan A? You don't think Plan A was just being a bit more conservative and trying to nullify City, even if it nullifies your own attack? You don't think that was Plan A?
I think Plan A. He like because from what he was saying in the press, he said we'll try and we want to play our game. Like I think was it like he said like we don't want to play like for the occasion. Is that what he said? Like in the lead up to the game.
Yeah, he said that we have to show belief, is what you were saying, basically.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to take the game to City, but I think because of how City were playing, he didn't want to make himself like too open. So what he had to now do is he had to now make himself more
Say the words.
resolute.
Say the words. Say the words. Say the words. Fuck the
He had
bus.
to make himself more resolute defensively and make Arsenal tough to break down. And when obviously I was seeing that, obviously I'll be real, like that game was boring to watch. Like I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, if I'm now gonna talk about both the attacks in the game, I'll be real. The Arsenal players, I'll be accountable for the Arsenal players. Like Saka, even though he was playing with injury, poor.
No, let's not do the injury thing. Let's not do the injury
do that
thing.
because
Let's not
Ake schooled you. Ake
Stop
pocketed
it. He
him.
wasn't
Even
playing
Bernardo,
injury.
even
Come
Bernardo
on.
Silva as a left back. Even Bernardo Silva as a left back pocketed him and he limped out. He keeps limping out.
He always, when he gets subbed off, he always
Every
limps off. He
time he
always
has a
does
bad
this.
game, he limps out. Every time Saka has a bad
And then
game,
he's
he
back
limps
the
out.
next week. He's
Miraculously,
back the next week.
Come on. Surely you don't believe that.
Nah, it's actually mad. I can't lie. But yeah, with Arsenal in that game, I feel our attack was just shambolic because it just feels like as like not just in that game, but obviously in most games in the season, when a team neutralizes Arsenal's attack, Arsenal Arsenal are just like toothless in like in front of goal, and that now comes down to now lack of a
Striker.
clinical number 9, yeah, striker.
Yeah, but you guys said Kai Havertz was cooking.
I did. He was doing well, but I never felt like, oh, he was gonna be the answer long term. Maybe a lot of all these Arsenal fans on Twitter and they think, oh, but I knew Arsenal needed a prolific centre forward because when it comes to now the small margins and tight matches like this, or like the match like was it like the one that was early in the season, like against Fulham, like games that obviously you might want to be winning 1-0, they can go against you and you could end up losing that 1-0 or 2-1. Do you get what I mean? And
You know what, big. Let me say something to you. Look, I have no hate towards Arsenal. It's just during the previews, people were telling me, Dio, hopefully you, Dio,
oh yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
we,
I
we,
know,
we,
I know, I
yeah,
watched
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I watched
No,
that.
no, no. But I'm just talking everything in general. Is every Arsenal fan's tone has changed forward. Abdullahi, Prime, and Dave. It's just changed that it's making me laugh now. The way they have switched because they told me, and they you could look at that tweets. They were like, "We're going to the Etihad to beat them." Troops said he's coming to collect us with 4-1. I think he said something like that to Hamza. And then everybody was saying that coming to play football, they've got the best defense in Europe. While I am watching Leverkusen being unbeatable, yes, maybe your defense is better, but Leverkusen is very unbeatable at the moment. They've got the
Yeah,
best
exactly.
midfield. You've got the best attack. You told us because you're scoring a lot of goals, and you said City right now are dead food, and you're coming to beat us. And now you came and packed the bus. It means you're still scared of City. But now
Patrick,
some Arsenal fans are telling me that the mindset has changed. We've taken 4 points from you, so it's changed from saying
Patrick,
you guys are not good
what
enough.
you're
So I
not
don't
used
get.
to, Patrick, I'm a
You know,
Chelsea
you know,
fan.
you know, you know, you know.
We're not used to competing or playing Arsenal on any sort of like important game because obviously you've been challenging for leagues and stuff the last 10, 15, whatever years. Arsenal haven't been. Me as a Chelsea fan, facing Arsenal in a London derbies, playing them in cup finals, European final, I know what it's like going up against Arsenal. Arsenal fans, particularly when they feel like their subconscious feels like they're going to lose or they're not going to win, they will put on a brave face and talk real loud and say, "We will batter you 3-0. We will batter you 4-1. We will play you off the field." Our play. I've experienced it when Arsenal fans were telling me that Kante, he's just a black Lucas Torreira. When they were telling me that Alexis Sanchez is better than Hazard. When they were telling me that Lacazette is better than uh, um, Morata, when they were doing these weird comparisons.
But
United
Brian,
fans have
like
faced it as
is
well.
better than Morata.
Arsenal
That's
fans
no
always
debate.
do this. They talk a big, loud game. They overcompensate. They always overcompensate. You're not used to it, Patrick. But like I'm telling you,
I
that's
know,
where
I know, I know,
it
and
didn't
that's where it's
Yeah,
going. And
no,
you know this,
no
and you know,
Arsenal
I
Patrick, Patrick.
Prime.
Not even
yeah.
I
Ty,
actually get what
not
you
even
mean. Like
Ty himself
from
believed
the
that
Arsenal
they would
fans you've spoken
batter.
with.
Not not even Ty himself believed that that Arsenal would batter Man City. Not
I
even Ty
know.
believed.
Oh, yeah. Now let me go to Dave. Let me go to Dave. Dave, me as a City fan, obviously, the reason why and forward, I apologize to forward Abdullahi and Prime because we have caused this. City have caused this in many ways. First of all, we gave them Zinchenko and Jesus. These guys went and gave them a bit of a slice of winning mentality. Number two, we took Arteta and trained him. Now he's balling. So City fans, we are to blame. We've caused this. Pep wanted a bit of a
We,
challenge.
we
He wanted
made
a
that.
student project. Yeah, a student project. Now, Dave, as a City fan, I'm disappointed because I think I think if we slapped them again, the world could have been quiet. But now here we are. But Dave, let's speak logic. Let's stop being trolls. How did you think of yesterday's game? Do you think there's hope? Because Bernardo Silva was on an interview and he thought 7 games left, Abdullahi. He actually
He
thought
didn't
seven
know how
games
many
left.
games were left.
Yeah, and he didn't know how many games forward. And then they told him that it's 9 games and he smiled and said, "Oh, then we have a chance." but he was like, 7 games, or we're done, we're done. So what about yourself, Dave? Do you think City are done in this title race?
Anyone who says that anyone is done in this title race is not being serious. If anything, and I say this at the risk of annoying Arsenal fans, if anything, if there's one team that's out of the title race right now, it's Arsenal. Because
How?
yes, they're one. Let me explain. Yes, they're 1 point ahead of City, but Arsenal and Mikel Arteta displayed something that they lacked, but he came out there and showed to the world that yeah, we are not ready to challenge for a league title. You have the chance to take on Liverpool and be first in the league. You go to the Etihad, and from minute one, your goalkeeper is catching the ball and slipping on the floor. You know what that's telling me? I don't want to win this game. I want to stink it up as much as I possibly can, maybe get a lucky deflection like we got in the Community Shield and steal it. But if we end up 0-0,
Unfortunately, there was no
Arsenal were
pens to save
you
him this
still
time.
there?
There was no pens.
they,
Is it
they,
still
were,
there?
they were not trying to win. Arsenal were not trying to win the game. Yeah. And what that tells me, and I've seen a few people mention as well. What that tells me is that Mikel Arteta in the middle of the title race went to the Etihad and did not take the initiative to lead the Premier League.
Yeah, but
And
he's taken 4 points off us. Apparently, they're saying 4 points is important.
it's irrelevant. At the end of the day, I was having this conversation with someone this morning. At the end of the day, who you take points off is irrelevant. Liverpool are top of the league. They've not beaten any of the traditional top six, or they've beaten just Chelsea. I think it is. They're top of the league. It doesn't matter if
Yeah,
Liverpool,
they got slapped up by Arsenal 3-1, isn't
by
it?
Arsenal, yes. So if Liverpool beat everybody and draw with City and Arsenal and United, they've not beaten United this season. They beat them twice. If they do that and win everybody else, they win the league. So this idea of we took 4 points off you. Brentford took 6 points off City last season. 6. So that it doesn't make any material difference. It's good
Yeah,
to take
this
away
man
points.
this
But
man
It's
is
good to
speaking.
like,
And that's
no,
what's frustrating to me.
but you need to weigh into consideration if you're
I'm not
look
I'm, I'm
even
not I'm not
even
saying the
if
contrary. I'm not
yeah,
saying
but
the
like
contrary. Hear me out.
there needs to
I'm
be
not
a
I'm not
bigger
saying the contrary.
context.
Hear me out. You've taken 4 points from City. Yeah. No, wait. What am I saying? You've taken a draw, 2 draws from City, and 2 draws from City and Liverpool, and
Then
2 wins. So
yeah,
so
that's true.
you've taken 8 points from City and Liverpool. You're 2 points behind Liverpool, and you're one ahead of City. It doesn't make any material difference.
This
It
man
really
is
Yeah,
doesn't.
cooking.
but again, you need
This
to
man is
weigh into consideration at the end of the day. Like you,
I'm,
I
I'm
think
not
you're
I'm
being
not
a bit,
listen, I'm not
you're being a
saying
bit
the contrary. I'm
disingenuous.
saying that
You're
in the fact of the matter, it doesn't make any material difference. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
you're
saying.
you're
So
forgetting end of the season if the three teams are all on the same number of points, head to
it will come
head,
down
it's
to
gonna
goal
come
difference and
be
then you win
yeah
the league.
yeah
It
but
will
yeah
not
but
come
yeah
down
but
to
yeah
head
but
to
it's
head
not
by
Yeah,
any
but
means.
that's assuming
goal
it'll come down to
goal
that.
difference. No, but you need to understand.
No, 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 no. Let,
You
let,
need,
let's get it, let's get it
but
clear.
can you just let me land my point? You need to understand if the three teams on
Hmm.
the last day of the season are all on the same number of points, head to head will come into
Hmm.
factor.
No,
Draws
goal
like
difference
draw
first.
and goal
No, no,
difference.
it's goal
Head
difference first.
and
And
yeah,
Arsenal will win the league at the counter.
No, you're right. No, bro,
goal
you're
difference
you're you're
will
right.
matter.
Well,
Head
like,
to head will matter.
why are you trying to win the league on goal difference?
Exactly.
No, look. I'm not trying to win the league on goal difference, but like times when Man City have won the league in the past when they've just edged Liverpool, they've had like a higher goal difference.
Yeah,
no,
but
we're running
City.
on points. We're running
At,
on
at,
points
at
now.
the end of the day, yeah.
Oh,
At the end of the day,
Patrick,
this is what I'm saying.
what was
And if you're
Patrick?
seeing and even with the title race
Mhm.
is still in the balance. Nobody is out of it. If you want to
Yes,
say
No
nobody's
one
out of it.
said
if
Arsenal.
if
No
you're
one has
saying
said
Arsenal
Arsenal
are
are out
out
of
of
it.
it, like no, but I was hearing someone say Arsenal are not ready to challenge. You can look at it one way, or you can look at it this way. Like when if like with okay, Arsenal like in the way that Arsenal because if Arsenal had lost yesterday, Arsenal would have gotten a lot of like the amount of backlash they would have had that okay from the pundits that okay they like this mental block. But I think yesterday kind of showed two things that I think that like obviously I think Gary Neville was trying to talk about after the match. I think they were like he mentioned. Obviously, they're resolute defensively. They limited City, and he said, "Okay, we give
But
credit to Arsenal for
that
Wait,
that."
that is
hold on,
pander. I'm
Dave.
sorry. I'm sorry, but
I'm
that's
not trying
pandering.
to
That's
knock
pandering to the
validation, by the
gallery. That's
way.
playing to the
Dave,
gallery.
can I cut in and say this? No one here has discredited Arsenal from how they defend the nullified City. We've praised you for doing that, but
All right,
in the
cool.
same time, you played a City that had injuries to key defensive players and their attacking players, Haaland and KDB.
And you
And
went
that
there with
keeper,
the
and that
sole
keeper.
purpose
Don't
of
forget the keeper.
taking a draw.
Yeah, but your
But
keeper's bad in
but
defense.
their
City
keeper
were there.
is their
Hold on,
keeper.
hold on. City were there for the take. I'm not saying like City were there for you to batter them 2-3-0, but City were there for you guys to take a 1-0 goal from, and you didn't. And that's what, if I was an Arsenal fan, that's what I would be frustrated by, because you guys still have to play Tottenham Hotspur, who will not want to give you guys the title. You have to face Chelsea. Chelsea are terrible, but we are not going to want to give you the title. You have to face Man United. They are not going to want to give you the title. City, from my standpoint, City, from what I know, do you guys have to play any top 6 side? Only Spurs, I think, and Villa.
Spurs and Villa, I think. Yes, Spurs
Only
and Villa.
Spurs and Villa.
Yes, fine. We can say City always lose against Spurs, but Villa is very beatable for Man City.
They're playing Villa
Arsenal
there. We're
still have
playing
to
Villa
face
there.
these
Yeah.
top sides. All I'm saying is, from an Arsenal perspective, getting 3 points against Man City would have helped you guys, because what if you guys draw against Chelsea, or you draw against Spurs, or you draw against Man United? I'm only saying, like, you have to look at it of, yes, brilliant to nullify Man City, but you didn't go toe to toe and get
Exactly this. Yeah, and this is what I would
that
say.
is the point. It's okay to you can praise Arsenal and also criticize them at the same time.
Criticize them at the same time. You can. If you put the same match in this same context to City fans, yeah. If you put the same match in the same context to City fans, City go to Anfield in the middle of a title race and pack the bus and get a one. I promise you, City fans are not having it. Put Liverpool in the same situation.
That Anfield game was embarrassing.
Liverpool fans are not having it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: if City go to Anfield in the middle of a title race and pack the bus, City fans are not happy. They don't take 1 point and gloat out.
By the way, can I just say this? Yeah. What if Man City still win the league? You got 4 points from Man City, and what if they still win the league?
And that's what I keep saying. It's at the end of the day, it is immaterial. They've taken 8 points off City and Liverpool. They are 1 point ahead of City and 2 behind Liverpool. At the end of the day, it's immaterial.
That's my point. City are still third. City are still third. So you might as well.
You had the chance to stake a claim and let the world know that, okay, I am ready to be counted among the big boys. And your manager went there, and I saw David Raya from the first minute of the game catch the ball and slip on the floor. That is what Jordan Pickford did last season against Liverpool.
This guy.
I mean, you have to look at it objectively as an Arsenal fan and say, yeah, we took the 1 point, but that was embarrassing. You know,
man, all I'm going to say is this: I don't want an Arsenal fan.
Let him answer. Let him answer. 2 points drops. I know. Look, I'm only happy about the defensive performance, but besides that, I actually see it as 2 points drops. Like,
okay, yeah, that's good. Can I just say, Arsenal, right? You are praising this performance. When you guys face Man United and they defend for their lives and they stink out a draw. When you face Spurs and they defend for their lives and stink out a draw. When you face Chelsea and they stink out a draw, I don't want anyone to complain. When you face Bayern and they defend and they stink out the 1-0 win, I don't want any complaints anymore about defensive performances. I don't want
exactly
you guys are praising this.
Today we are hearing
no complaining about terrorism when you guys are praising the terrorism. No complaints.
Today we are calling it defensive masterclass. I remember Jose Mourinho being
one at a time. You want to hear each other.
So sorry, I was saying that Arsenal is being praised. Arteta has been praised for this defensive masterclass. I remember for years, Jose Mourinho was being called anti-football for doing the exact.
They insulted Porto though. They even insulted Porto recently. They said Porto did not want to play football.
Yes, and today we are sat here and Arsenal fans are telling us that, oh no, it's a masterclass, we got what we wanted. Yeah, you got what you wanted, but you stunk a 0-0 draw. Admit it and then move on. That's it. But anyways, I was talking about the city in general, and we've gotten into a little bit of the rabbit hole of Arsenal's performance. Arsenal aside, I did feel that City could have gone up a level yesterday. And at
Yeah.
some point in the game, it almost felt like the players accepted. And it's probably the first time that I have seen this in a City in City under Guardiola, where the players around, I felt at least around the 75th, maybe 80th minute, the players accepted that, okay, we are going to try, but we don't mind the draw. That's how I felt at that point in time in the game. It felt like, okay,
Dave, if we talk, let's keep it a buck here. I remember when some people were saying Riyad Mahrez has to leave. I remember when some were saying Gundogan is old, and I remember I was on the live saying Gundogan shouldn't go. And people attacked me. They're like, "Don't be sentimental, Patrick." And you know what? I use Twitter, but I'm gonna start keeping receipts because I remember somebody said, "Don't be sentimental. These guys are old and everything." But Gundogan this season, I think City stays top of the league throughout the season with Gundogan in this team because I think Man City somebody's went that's guy. I'm saying I think Gundogan was a hybrid midfielder, and I think that's what's missing in this team. Every time I watched the game, I was like, if Gundo was here, this is this. Even Riyad Mahrez, man, this man.
In the back.
I'm telling you, Abdullah, these people chased Mahrez away. This guy said Mahrez has to go. And I know why you wanted him to go. I know why you guys wanted Mahrez to go. I know most of you why you wanted him to go.
I wanted I love Riyad. I met him during the Nations Cup. A couple years ago, and he was really nice with me. So I love Mahrez and I wanted him to stay. But what happened. Anyways, I don't think it's as simple as saying that if this person didn't leave, this would have happened, because hypotheticals work very badly in football. But I hear what you're saying, and even Pep has kind of echoed it at some point in time with the way he's using Julian Alvarez in midfield. You listen to how he talks about using Alvarez in midfield, and what you get from that is he's trying to look for what Gundogan gave him. So you can see that in the game. But with respect to yesterday's game, I just felt at some point that they were like, you know what, they are thinking it up. Let's do what we can and then walk away. And that's the first time for me. I feel that way. Feeling that was not good.
Can I just say, I'm a bit disappointed in you City fans. I can't lie. Like, I'm expecting a bit more accountability for your players here, because we're 20 minutes into the segment and neither of you have talked about your actual attacking players. Like, there's been no mention of Haaland, which again, we don't need to talk about. Yeah, we're talking about, obviously, you guys kind of accepted the draw. Not accepted the draw, but you were like, there wasn't, for me, I didn't see that same desperation to win like I usually see with City.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Around the 80th minute, was almost as if the players just went like, yeah, right.
The draw's not too bad. Like, we don't want to lose.
Like the desperation that you talk about, that's exactly what I was saying. It was not there. I saw, and Pep made a massive error yesterday. He made a massive error in taking Phil Foden off the pitch. I get the argument of managing his minutes. He played 180 minutes in the international break and all of that. But Pep took Phil Foden out and put Bernardo Silva in an area where Phil Foden would have tried, the half space. And Bernardo Silva is a fantastic player. He is very good on the ball, progressing, dribbling and stuff. But there is not a player in world football, and I say this not likely, there's not a player in world football right now who is better at taking the ball in a half space and progressing with it than Phil Foden. So I felt a bit confused when I saw Pep take him out and then put Bernardo there, and I'm like, what are you doing? So it just.
I think Pep was looking. Look. This is why I think Pep also. Maybe forward you understand why I also had a blame on bigger players. I think Pep was saying, let me go back to the big guys. I know Foden is one of the big guys, but I think Pep still. There's something about Pep. As much as he comes in the media, I think he just still doesn't see Foden as the big guy, because I think he left people who he was seeing. These are the big boys. These are the guys who got me over. Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, they'll do something. To be honest with you, our big boys yesterday, the defense did well. Kovacic, Rodri did well, but our attackers, I think they didn't step up. I think they stunk the place. And you're right.
Well, say the name. Say the name.
No, all of them
Say
did.
the
Kevin De
names.
Bruyne was awful. Haaland was awful on the day.
Mm.
Bernardo Silva was bang average. Foden was
Ah,
non-existent. I don't have a problem admitting those
Prime, you
things.
see forward. This is what he's been waiting for. He just wants
No,
to hear the name
I do
KDB.
not have a problem admitting those things because on the day they were bad or they were at least below their usual level. I don't have any problem admitting that. I have no problem admitting that. In general, right? I'm talking about Pep now as well. All of them, everybody just seemed to. There was something about it. It was just one of those games, and I don't know if it is going to decide who wins the title. I don't think that because there's still a lot of a way to go, but I feel like Arsenal didn't take an opportunity that was there, and City didn't do enough to break down Arsenal. But
Yes.
again, you have to give Arsenal credit in this sense.
Yeah,
A
they do.
lot of teams come to the Etihad and pack the bus and get a 1-0 defeat.
Oh, they
We
get
have-
a
No,
5-0 with packing the bus. Even if they get a 5-0 packing the bus.
Here's what I'm saying. The best defense in Europe. Arsenal are the best defense in Europe. This season, they are the best defense in Europe. Came to the Etihad and packed the bus. So give these attackers credit. The best defense in Europe came and packed the bus against you. It's not.
Yeah,
so-
but we had opportunities. There was a point where Bernardo Silva
Saying
went
that
in the
we
box and
didn't- I'm
instead
not
of
saying-
shooting,
I'm not-
he started playing around. Remember? Instead of shooting, he started
Yeah,
playing
true,
around
it's
with the
true,
ball.
it's true. But at the same time, we can also look at it and say that that was the lowest XG City have created at the Etihad in a very, very
Yeah,
long time.
yeah,
But again,
Exactly.
just
That's
to
what I'm saying.
just to answer a question that you asked, Dave, right? Because obviously you don't know why Bernardo, Foden came off in a sense, because obviously you brought on the two wingers, you moved Bernardo from his position, but I think it sounds like you wanted Bernardo to come off and let Foden be in the middle. And again, for me, what I saw, right, is obviously Kovacic started the game in the midfield alongside Rodri. And I don't think Pep trusted Foden to play that position, so obviously he moved Bernardo to that position. And obviously he was kind of more the DM when you guys are defending, and obviously in attack, he would at times push forward and be in the pockets. And that's why you saw him have some moments in and around their box, right, to create. So obviously that's what I saw, right, with that. But again, the decision at Anfield was for you guys to take off KDB and move Foden into the 10. And obviously there was a question if you were going to make that decision again yesterday. And Pep opted to take out Foden instead and leave De Bruyne in the 10. And again, for me, De Bruyne was awful once again. And I almost felt like nothing he did came off. There was no creativity. When he tried to drive with the ball, Declan Rice just put his arm on his shoulder and said, "Buddy, sit down. You're not coming through this corridor right now." And he just completely stopped him from trying to drive through midfield, try and create. Like he couldn't create. He couldn't get into those pockets to try and do anything. And again, I look at KDB, right? And again, when he came back and he obviously had the assist against Newcastle on the goal, and everybody was lauding him as the best midfielder in Premier League history, right? And again, his impact since he's come back from injury has been very good. He has had a lot of good moments, created a lot of big chances. So I'll give him credit.
But it's not the same KDB.
But it's not the same KDB from last season. But let's be honest, this KDB that we see even over the last 2-3 years, it's not prime KDB. It's post-prime KDB, and he's still doing good. He's still bringing up numbers, but he's far gone from the player from the Centurion season when he played in the midfield three.
Can I say something forward before I forget? Can I say something forward before I forget forward? I think I said this and somebody was like, shush. I was like, there are moments where I know it's KDB and it's magic, but if we're keeping it real, that midfield I think would be much better sometimes without him and for him to be an impact sub. Am I wrong to say that?
You're not wrong.
I'm just saying.
You're not wrong at all.
It's just that sentiment. It's just that we have sentiment. We have sentiment. That's what it is. Because you guys told me Gundogan is sentiment. I'm not trying to give way back, but I'm just saying KDB I think would be better because the games he's impacted. He came off the bench, the Newcastle one. He was fresh. He was watching the game from outside. You know, people like KDB, if they watch the game from outside and they come on, they know how to unlock something. I just think going forward, that position that midfield should be Foden, Rodri, and Kovacic. I'm sorry. I would rather have Kovacic in that midfield with Foden being the one rotating. So, guys, I'm going to have to end it here. We've been doing 2 hours. Thank everybody in the comments. Thank you, Big. Thank you, Prime. Thank you, Dave. Dave, I think we speak on Twitter, but I'm not sure. But I'll hit me up on Twitter, man. And forward, big up Abdullahi. Big up Abdullahi. Thank you very much. Then I'm going to have to end it here because it's been 2 hours. But thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. And for those guys watching, enjoy your. Is it Monday? Easter Monday? Enjoy Easter Monday.
Yeah,
Bank holiday.
So bank holiday. Yeah.